And then there is this study, and this study I found super interesting. So it talked about this idea and really connects to the previous study, which I think would help illustrate the point and maybe for a viewer, what is it about leisure that is so interesting and so compelling for adults that maybe we don't talk about enough all the time? And this activity was quite an interesting one because it was based on a personality test. It's kind of an older study. So the personality test is kind of older, and the personality test I took to mean measuring the immeasurable. Some people don't really believe in the effectiveness of personality tests, but still, I think that you still draw a lot from the study. So look at this idea of congruence, and they took congruence to mean how much do the skills that I have to offer line up with what my work asks of me, right? If I have a college degree in physics, but I'm working at a gas station, no disrespect to the gas station, but likely the talents that I have to offer and the knowledge that I have to offer aren't being used at work. And so that's a way of missing out on some of those needs that we talked about in the previous study, even though these are two different studies. At the same time, that being said, let's say your work is congruent. You're a person who's drawn to teaching and you do teach. Well, then that's great. But there still are probably other ways to meet other needs out there. But let's say that it's not congruent. That there are certain leisure activities you can participate in that can help make up and compensate for that lack of congruence in your work life. But those leisure activities must be congruent. So, um, for example, if you're an enterprising type of person, and you're not using those enterprising skills, maybe a hobby could be actually playing the stock market because you can get really into it, or it can be organizing certain things because that's an enterprising skill. And this also really connects to the previous activity because it shows why maybe not looking at activities themselves is so helpful. One of the points they made in this study, which I thought was really cool, is that let's talk about one activity, which many people could be drawn to for very different reasons. And the example they use is camping. So a realistic type of person, which they use in that personality test, might be there because they want to organize the gear, set up the tents, make the fire going, because they have those realistic mindsets. The social people might be interested in what's going around a campfire. They see it as a social opportunity to meet people and gather around and just relax. And the enterprising type of person, um, for example, might get a kick out of the fact that they're the ones who organize the trip. And so those kinds of activities really kind of help make up for maybe the skills that we're not using as work that we would like to be using at work and help us meet more of those needs. So congruence is an interesting way of looking at leisure activities and what they do for us.